Okay. I know we've gone over this before. We're going to do a little bit of review. So we're going to talk about solving equations with variables on both sides. So remember, variables are letters that we put into our equations to represent something that we don't know. So for most cases, and we will start using others as well, but for most cases, we're going to be using x. And so in this case, we have 3x on this side and 5x on this side. But before I go more into that, we are talking about equations. When we talk about equations, equations are like a scale. We have this little equal sign, and the equal sign means that what is on the two sides have to be the same. And if you think about this in terms of a scale, so when a scale is balanced, like it currently is, it's equal, right? And so I can put, and I don't know how well this is going to work. I've not tried this yet. I can put 3x plus 4 in this side, and I can put 5x minus 12 in this side, and they're equal. The scale is balanced, right? If I want to solve this for x, so I want x in one side and whatever else is left on the other side, and that will tell me how much does x weigh, or what is x's value. Okay, that's what we're doing, and so the scale kind of helps us picture that a little bit. So as we're going through this, try and picture what would happen when I do each of these things. And I mean, we can add any weight or subtract any weight or really do anything we want to the scale. I can put in an elephant if I want, but if I put an elephant on the left side, it's going to throw it way out of balance. And so I also have to put an elephant that weighs the same amount on the other side to keep the balance. And that's what we're trying to do when we solve equations, is keep that balance. Okay, we're trying to figure out, what does x weigh, basically. Okay, what does x weigh? What is x's value? And we can do, like I said, we can do anything we want, but we have to do it to both sides of the scale. So I want, what my end goal is to have x on this side. Okay, I want x on this side. I want all the numbers, what x is going to weigh. I want that on this side. Okay, take that out real quick. So that means everything that's not an x on my right-hand side needs to go away from the right-hand side. And everything that is an x on my left-hand side needs to go away from the left-hand side. So I'm going to start on the right-hand side. I'm going to get rid of that minus 12. Okay, picturing negative weight doesn't really is hard to do. I understand that. Think of, instead of thinking of it as a negative, think of it as a quantity. A negative is just kind of a name for it. So you have 12 chocolate bars, and chocolate bars are negative. That may not be very helpful. But instead of worrying about the negative and positive, just consider it a thing, and you need to put the opposite thing in there. Okay, so I'm going to add 12. I put in a plus 12, and a minus 12 and a plus 12 is going to cancel out. But if I add 12 of something into here, right, that's going to throw the scale off of balance. It's going to make it tip. So I can do that, but I don't want to just do it to one side. I need to do it to the other side as well so that it stays balanced. So I'm also going to add 12 over here. Okay, and so now I have kind of a new equation. So the negative 12 and the positive 12 on this side cancel each other out. And I'm going to see if it'll let me. It does. Okay, so I can erase that. It goes away. And then on this side, I have 3x plus 4 plus 12. And so that 4 and that 12 are going to add together. And now I'm going to have a 16. So I'm going to get rid of the 4 and the 12, and I'm just going to write that as a plus 16. Okay. And then again, now I want all my x's on the right, all my numbers on the left, which means these x's that are on the left need to go away. And if you have 3 of something, In this case, we have 3 x's, so you can actually picture 3 physical x's made of wood or whatever you want. We need to get rid of those, and so we're going to take them out of the basket. We do that by subtraction, right? So we're going to take out 3x. If we take 3x out of this side, we also have to take 3x out of this side, right? Okay, and the way we show this in math is we use subtraction. Subtraction is for taking out, plus is for putting in. Okay, so we're going to subtract 3x from both sides. And that's going to give us some new equations. On the left-hand side, we took 3x out. We did 3x minus 3x. We took 3x out. So that's just going to go away. We're left with the 16 on that side. Then on this side, we took 3x out, 5x, and we took 3x out. That's going to leave us with 2x still in there. Okay, so 2x are still in there. Okay, so this is our equation. We're almost there, but we want to know what 1x is equal to, and right now we know what 2x's are equal to. And so what we could do is divide, right? We know that 2x, so we have a pile of x's, there's 2 x's in there. So if we divide that into 2 piles, so we have x here and we have x here, and then we divide the other side into 2 piles. So we have 16, and we're just going to divvy them up between the 2 x's evenly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, and then we look and we see, and each x has 8 in it. So if each x has 8 in it, then 1x is equal to 8. Okay, 2x's is equal to 16, 1x would be equal to 8. The way we show this mathematically is is division. We divide that by 2, and we divide that by 2. So we're taking what's in the basket, and we're cutting it in half, right? If we get rid of half of each side and they're equal, then it's going to stay equal. So we can do that. Okay, so if I divide the left-hand side by 2, if I get rid of half of it, then that's going to leave me with an 8. And if I get rid of half of my x's, I have 2 of them, half of them would leave me with 1x. And so I get x equals 8. Okay. Now, going back very quickly, just to show something, if we have this 2x equals 16, okay, we took out half, and we can take out half because we can take out half of the x's, we can take out half of the numbers. But a lot of times we're tempted to say, oh, well, I'm going to take out 2, okay? So if we took out 2 from the 16, then that would be 14, right? If we just took out 2. But if we took out 2 from this side, remember the 2 isn't the same thing as an x. Like the numbers in the x's are different things. And so because we found out that x is equal to 8, and so taking out 2 doesn't really work here. It doesn't give us just the x because we can't take the 2 away from the x. The only way we can take out portions of it, like half of it, because half of the x's would be the same thing as removing half of the weight from the right side would be the same as removing half of the weight from the left side. But removing 2 objects from the left side is not the same as removing 2 different objects from the right-hand side. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So if we had eggs in one side and coins in the other side, removing 2 eggs is not the same thing as removing 2 coins. Okay, it's going to make it so the balance is not the same. So the only way to get that x by itself would be to divide, to take out half of the weight that's in there, in this case. If it was 3x, then a third of the weight. Okay, so division is the only way that works. And so our final answer for this would be x equals 8. So 8 and our x, and x equals 8. And then just really quickly to show you that we can do the same thing with the equation. If you want to draw a scale, if that helps, by all means. But we can do this with an equation. This is our balance, right? The part of the scale that says that it has to be equal. And so either side, if we do something to one side, we have to do it to the other. And so let's just go through this fairly quickly. We're going to add 12 to both sides. And this may be a different order than I did with the scales, and that's okay. So negative 12 and positive 12, that cancels. That gives us 5x. On the left-hand side, we have 3x, and 4 plus 12 is 16. I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. 3x minus 3x, that goes to 0. This gives us a 16 is equal to 2x. 5x minus 3x is 2x. Divide both sides by 2, and that gives us 8 is equal to x. Okay, and I think that's enough for this video.